Welcome back. This is your host, Kristi Slaughter on SuperTalk Saturday mornings, WFHG 92.9. Thank you for joining us today. In the studio with us now, we have the owner of Outdoor Quest, Don Ronchio, and one of his guides, Cepheus Strachan. I got to go ahead and tell the surprise.
Okay.
Because I had a little accident during the commercial break. With Rick Allen's surprise. So I went by. Now, you guys can stay with me for a little bit, right? You don't mind if I preempt this interview?
No, absolutely.
Okay. Rick, I told you that I had a little surprise for you.
You don't have a little surprise for me anymore, do you?
No, I do. I have a big surprise for me. So I went by and visited our friend Matt Scheid. Do you remember him a few months ago? He came on Bristol Gardens and Grill. He was at the Great Winter Soup Cook-Off.
Right.
So he said, come by, look at the hoop houses because they have lots of things that are growing. I did a post on my Facebook page, and he walked me through what all he's growing, and then I had a little lunch, and then he shows me this refrigerator. Now, when he opens it up, my mind immediately goes to this huge brisket that he's smoked. It's in there. I said, is that brisket? And he said, yes, but hold on just a second. And so he gets this plastic container and pulls it out, and maybe you all could try these while you're here too. Maybe
Maybe Cepheus.
Okay.
He loves the hot stuff.
So he opens up this container, and he said, these are fresh pickles, and he's pickled them with 2 of the hottest peppers in the world.
All right, I'll try one if you try one.
He is so smart and creative. He's figured out a way to get all of the flavor that you would from some of these hot peppers without the incredible intensity of heat. You still have heat, but it's not scary. It's not risky. So I asked my husband this morning if he would because I didn't bring the whole container because they are so addictive.
That would make more sense.
Yeah, I know. Oh, now I wish I had. So 9 o'clock the other morning, I started wanting pickles. Isn't that crazy? These are so good and addictive. So I said, let's just bring 4 or 5. He suggested that I put them in a bag to drive them down here, right? Because pickle juice isn't good to have in the car. So I put it in my makeup bag, and I started smelling spicy pickles a few minutes ago when Dan and Cepheus came in. The container didn't hold the pickle juice, and now it's all down in my makeup bag. My makeup brushes, my makeup sponges, now are infused with 2 of the hottest peppers in the world.
You're going to smell like hot pickles for the next couple of years.
Can you all smell it?
You might have invented a new line of makeup.
You can.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. I'm wondering, when you eat these, you're going to get that tingle on your tongue that you get from these really intense hot peppers. So who knows? Maybe it could plump up like lines and wrinkles and lips and stuff. It looks like a bee venom injection.
Fingers
It would be
crossed.
like pickle injection. So if you haven't been by Bristol Garden and Grill, go check it out. Say hello to Matt Scheid. He may be in the pickle business, so we'll do a commercial break,
so that's
and they
what
can
that
get some.
smell
That
is
is what the
in
smell
the
is.
studio. Okay.
So I'm sorry that I preempted your interview, but I didn't want you all to think, okay, so what's going on? Everything smells like pickles. There is a reason. It's literally all over my hand. So hopefully we won't rub our eyes or anything. So Rick, are you excited about your surprise? I
am now.
Can you wash up my makeup bag for me? Do producers do that?
No, I don't think that's in my job description.
Okay. Well, thank you all so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You all do some different things than a lot of outdoor companies. Your mission is focused on something in particular, conservation. You've also done work with vets and things like that too throughout your programs. Tell me a little bit about how you got involved in this and what your focus really is.
Well, it kind of started out as a family thing. Cepheus had moved up here about 7 years ago.
Yeah, about 7 years ago.
7 years ago, and I was really involved in scouting at the time, and my boy and I just kind of wanted to learn the area because we were new to the area too. We'd only been here a couple of years, and we wanted to kind of go off trail a little bit. And we tried to talk with different leaders and where to go. And most of it was like tourist trails and tourist traps. You know, it was real crowded always. And Cepheus came up here. He had been he's from the high desert in California.
Yeah.
And we just kind of took it from there. I'm like, let's go off trail. And he was crazy enough to follow me and lead me on some of these. And I guess that's how it actually came together, as we were kind of exploring our new backyard.
Cepheus, how has it been different doing your work in California and then moving here and doing something similar, but I'm sure different because the terrain and what you have to prepare for is different? How has that transition been for you?
Yeah, the terrain is certainly different. So in California, obviously, hiking, the main concern is water. And in the high desert and the desert areas especially, there on the trails there isn't a whole lot of cleanup to be done, whereas around here it seems like there's a lot more cleanup, especially at the lower elevations, and that's part of this whole conservation thing. Wherever we are, we try to clean up after whatever may be left on the ground from people previously dropped bottles, plastics, all that kind of stuff.
Chairs, pieces of boats.
Yep, everything. So yeah, it's a great experience being out here. Yeah, one of the first things we did is we were told about a public campground that we went to, which was fun, and we had heard about a waterfall. So basically, we just hiked up the side of a mountain and literally found the waterfall after that. And that was Upper Branch Falls. Is that what it was? Yeah,
yeah, it was the North Falls of the Sill Branch.
Sill Branch, yeah,
Sill Branch that pretty much had been lost for several years. And I just kind of one day just said, hey, let's try to find it. And I know how to use a compass. So
that's one of those skills that a lot of people don't know how to use. A lot of students don't know how to use.
Right.
You are specialized in survivalist types of things as well, right?
I like to call it thrivalist because we don't really survive outdoors. We really thrive out there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We spend more than 100 days outdoors, even just by ourselves. Cepheus does most of the hiking trails and makes his own trails, and I do more of the water guiding, river stuff. And then once a month, at least, we all meet together. Just we have another friend of ours that we meet with, and we just reset. So it's kind of therapeutic thing that we do every month.
But yeah, Dan, absolutely. When he was a scout leader, he taught the kids how to build a temporary shelter and, how to start a fire without a lighter, all of those things. So yeah, he's very, very skilled in that. I've never seen someone be able to light a fire in the worst of conditions with absolutely just rain coming down, and he can do it.
We could do that outside the studio today. We could just start a fire. I'm sure there's are there any regulations, Rick, for that?
Sure.
Can we have a campfire?
I'm going to slide on the air of caution and say no. We can't start fires
now,
out behind
just
the
so
studio.
you know,
I'm thinking we can fry some pickles here.
I start the fires. Cepheus creates the fire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a reason why we go out in the wintertime and we keep warm. It's because of this guy here.
You just have the magic to get
I
it
start
started.
him, and he keeps everybody warm.
So who's the cook?
We both kind of are.
Yeah.
Cepheus is a vegetarian, and I'm a meatitarian. And we've kind of both cooked, and sometimes we bring our own food, sometimes we cook for everybody else, and sometimes we cook for each other. I think it was close to his birthday last year. I cooked this vegetarian dish for him right over the fire. Everything's flambé, by the way. So it's vegetarian flambé. And
yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
So what is one of the most unusual things that you've done, that you've cooked on the campfire, that if we have campers or people who want to come out and do this, maybe wouldn't expect that they could actually cook on a campfire?
Man, we cook a lot of different things.
The coolest thing to make is what we call a hobo pack.
Sure, yeah.
Which is just you get a piece of tinfoil and you throw a bunch of stuff in there. You can put meat in there, potatoes, vegetables, whatever you want. Add some hot sauce,
Breakfast
maybe
food.
not, whatever you want. Throw that on the fire, and you're going to have a great meal in just a few minutes.
Yeah, and they pack real easy, too. We can probably feed I think we've done, 6-7 people sometimes in just a small ice chest for 3 days, 2 days, whatever.
Yep.
That's one of the things, talking to people who do camping and backpacking, or maybe they're doing the trail on a bike or something like that, really having the things that you need, the necessities, but not overpacking because of weight and things like that. Do you find that beginners who are getting started kind of maybe overpack, or there's some things that maybe they didn't need that they wish they could leave on the trail? Or
that is his thing. He packs light. He can get like the kitchen sink and half his kitchen into his bag. And magically, it only weighs 20 pounds. But he's very, very much up on all of the new hiking tech.
You could probably do a class just on that. There would probably be people interested in doing that.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick commercial break. Can you all stay with us?
Absolutely.
We need to do some pickle cleanup. We'll be back here in just a few minutes. This is your
I'm
host.
going to try one of those things.
Yeah, get some water. We'll be back here in just a few minutes. This is your host, Kristi Slaughter, on SuperTalk Saturday mornings. Welcome back. This is your host, Kristi Slaughter, on SuperTalk Saturday mornings, WFHD 90.9. I'm joined with my special guest, Dan Ronchio and Siphius Strachan.
Hi.
Hi. You both are with Outdoor Quest. We had a little pickle emergency here, spicy pickles. So we have done some cleanup. You all sampled them. How hot did you think they were?
They're pretty darn hot.
Pretty darn hot.
Yeah.
Spicy but good.
Well, thank you all for playing along. This is the first time that we've ever done this on this show. What did you think, Rick Allen?
I liked them.
Good, right?
Very good, yeah.
Rick can have the rest of mine.
I can see that on a good burger or something. That was really, I enjoyed it.
Matt Shy, he does his own barbecue, so he smokes all of that, and he puts his fresh pickles on there, and he pickles red onions, all sorts of things. So there's one pickle left. Rick's over there with my makeup bag. I'm drinking the pickle juice.
What?
I'm just kidding. It's in the sink soaking. You all do a wonderful job at spreading awareness about conservation and the impact that we make. There's so many beautiful destinations. Dan, you and I were talking about this one day.
Yeah.
Even living here most of my life, there are places I've never been to, I've never seen before. And one of the things that you would think would go without saying is when you make a mess, pick it up.
Right.
But obviously, Cepheus, you had mentioned the difference in being out west and then being here. Obviously, the message is not completely getting through. You all are working on a project that can kind of help people prepare and take better care of the environment that we're currently living in. Tell me a little bit about that project.
Okay, so we do a lot of our camping on South Holston Lake, and I got in contact with TVA, and they just to get permission before we put anything, because a lot of that is the national forest, to put trash bag dispensers out on all these campsites, especially the ones that we frequently clean up during holidays and everything. We're packing out probably 3 or 4 80-pound bags of trash, cans, like we said earlier, sometimes boat parts, chairs that people broke and just
Dirty
left behind.
diapers.
Oh, my
Dirty
gosh.
diapers. Yeah, the list goes on. And I think people out here, I don't want to say we're spoiled, but I think they have to really understand that we have it really good out here, where CPS comes from. And even where I come from, I'm from Washington State, you have to have permits just to camp. You have to have, what's it called, an adventure pass?
An adventure pass just to get inside the national forest, not a national park, just the forest.
Yeah, and it's all pay to play. Here it's all free, and we got to keep it clean.
So you've got these bag dispensers where people can just take a bag and then fill it with trash.
Fill it with their trash and take it on out. Yep, a lot of times they're power boats, and if we can do it with our canoes, then I know they can do it with their power boats. It's a no-brainer. So if you go on our website, which is outdoor-quest.org, you'll see there you can actually purchase a bag dispenser for us, and we'll put it out there, and you can help us keep the area clean. This is your backyard too.
And we want it to be in better shape even for our children and our children's children.
Absolutely.
I was really surprised last year. We got out and saw some destinations that we had never seen, and we've already started doing that this year. And people were coming from really all over the world to where we live, and it gave me a whole new appreciation just stopping and being present in the moment and seeing the beauty that we have here. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Where are some of your favorite places to go and visit? Or there's some places, I know you all do this and this is your company, but some places maybe that people could check out or something maybe that we're not aware of.
A lot of the places we go, we kind of don't want people there.
I know. That's why I set it up like that, Dan.
Yeah,
Come
we
on,
were
help
just
me
talking
out.
about the lookout when we were offline or off the air. That's kind of a special place for all of us. We take our kids there, and it's always clean. You can get up on the top of the mountain and look on one side, and you see Elizabethton all lit up, and the other side you see Bristol and the racetrack all lit up. And that's probably, I would say, more like home to us. Cepheus lives close by there, so he goes every night, right?
Yeah, I go up on a ridge that leads up to Holston Mountain every night on a hike. Yeah, there are two really cool hiking trails that are actually marked along Big Creek Road on the western side of Holston Lake that are fantastic. Now, they are not very well maintained trails, and you'll probably have to dodge some tree branches and things like that. And they're also practically vertical, but they're fantastic. When you get to the top, you end up on what's called Holston Mountain Trail, and from that trail you can see the entire lake. And from this one specifically, it's called Flint Mill Trail from Big Creek, and that one is 1 mile only. It's only 1 mile long, but it's 1,500 feet straight up. When you get to the top, it has the most fantastic view of anywhere around here. The lake is all of about 2 feet long when you're standing up on the rock. It has to have been, in my opinion, a Cherokee holy place, because it is just astounding.
So what does that mean to you when you take that hike? And you said you go almost there every night.
Not to that particular one, but on a ridge that leads up to Holston Mountain, yeah, every night. I just do a short 3 mile one every night. But when I go up to Flint Mill, which we just did last weekend, in fact, every time it's breathtaking.
Well, thank you all for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Yep.
People want information. What's probably the craziest, scariest adventure that you all have been on?
Oh, man.
Can you say it on the radio? I don't know.
I mean, we could say it on the radio. I think it was when we were looking for Lost Cove that we took to Devil's Creek.
Yep. That would be a good one.
Yeah, we had, it was our first attempt to find Lost Cove. It wasn't as nicely mapped out as it is today.
Just 7 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, and we started from a 12-mile spot where we realized we could actually drive up closer to it, but we started about 12 miles away on one end of the mountain. And then we got to what we thought would be, but it wasn't well marked. And we saw some little stakes in the ground and went, hey, maybe this way. And it was like Jurassic Park. I mean, everything just changed. There was big, huge rocks everywhere. There was foliage that we'd never seen before. And we found out after that we got to this clearing that was just great. And it was wintertime, and there was a lot of snow on the ground. And the trail marker was actually covered by snow, and it was a black trail, which is like one of the hardest trails. We were literally at one time walking on maybe a 1 foot path where one side went straight down the mountain and the other side went straight up the mountain. And we had my son at the time, was probably about 10, 11 years old. And we realized that it was called Devil's Creek for a reason. Yeah, it's so that was an adventure.
Yeah, it was black because of what he just described, as well as it was almost entirely walking on jagged rocks. And at one point, where you can't really see the gaps in between. And at one point, Dan did actually twist his ankle pretty bad, and then still had to hobble for another, I don't know, what was that, 6-7 miles till we got back to the car.
Yeah.
Now, when you take people out and you take vets out occasionally on different programs and things like that, people don't have to worry about that.
No, we don't take chances like that.
Go that crazy. No. And I even think we had a vet out one time, and he showed up in his fatigues and everything, and bless his heart, I think that might have been too rough for him, because he lasted one whole day and then went home. And then he tried to hammock, I guess, one time, and he didn't get his knot right, and he fell out of his hammock, and he was pretty much done after that. But we welcome more. In fact, it's like I was saying, we reset ourselves every month. It's kind of just a clearing of our minds and getting back to nature and getting that harmony with nature. And it's almost like we have to have it every month, and anybody's welcome to come out.
Yeah, and if anyone does come with us, we absolutely do have beginner, novice experiences for them as well. Yeah, we'll take them on the easy stuff, no problem.
If people want to learn more information, again, if you could give us your website. You're also on Facebook, I think.
Yep, we're on Facebook. It's outdoor-quest.org.
Is there anything that you would like our listeners to know about your program or about the area, the community that we live in before we let you go?
Just please be respectful and clean up after yourselves.
Yeah, and I just want to do a plug real fast for the surrounding marinas that let us park for free all year round.
Yes.
Sportsman and Painter's Creek.
Both Sportsman
Both
and Painter.
marinas.
Fantastic, yeah.
Well, thank you all so much for being here. Maybe we could do an on-location interview and go out and do something.
That'd be
Would
great.
That would
fun?
be great.
Okay.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
having us.
much. We're going to take some pictures during the commercial break. We'll put all your links and things up on the Facebook page so people can get your website as well.
Awesome.
Thank you. We'll be back here in just a few minutes. This is your host, Kristi Slaughter on SuperTalk Saturday mornings, WFHD 92.9.